Have you ever heard the whispers of the ancient forest where magic and mystery intertwine? Tonight, we journey deep into the heart of the Black Forest, a place shrouded in legends and enchantments. Stay with me until the end as we unravel the spellbinding tale of the Witch of the Black Forest, a story where every shadow hides a secret and every rustling leaf echoes with the past. The Black Forest, with its towering trees and misty pathways, has long been the cradle of countless myths, but perhaps none is as captivating as that of the mysterious witch who is said to dwell within its depths. As the moonlight filters through the dense canopy, you might just catch a glimpse of her story unfolding, weaving magic into the very fabric of the night. So tuck yourself in, let the world outside fade away, and prepare to be transported to a realm where magic is real and the unknown beckons. The protagonist of our tale is a curious child named Ilara. Ilara had always been fascinated by the stories whispered by the elders in her village, tales of the Witch of the Black Forest who possessed ancient knowledge and profound magic. One clear, starry night, filled with the bravery that only children know, Ilara decided it was time to uncover the truth herself. Her mind was set, and her heart beat with a mix of excitement and trepidation. She packed a little satchel with some bread, a water flask, and her grandmother's old lantern, which was said to always glow brighter when danger was near. With a deep breath and a final glance back at her tiny cottage, she stepped into the dense woods, feeling the cool embrace of the forest air. The moment she crossed the threshold of the trees, the atmosphere changed. It was as if the forest itself had come alive, welcoming her into its enigmatic embrace. She walked along the winding paths, her eyes wide with wonder as the moonlight danced through the branches above, casting playful shadows on the forest floor. Ilara's footsteps were light, barely disturbing the leaves beneath her feet, but the forest seemed to respond to her presence. The whispers of the wind through the leaves sounded like gentle murmurs, as if the forest was speaking its ancient secrets to her. As she ventured deeper, every rustle, every flicker of movement caught her attention, filling her with a sense of awe and curiosity. The deeper she went, the more she felt as though she was being silently guided, the lantern flickering softly, its glow a comforting companion in the vast unknown. It wasn't long before Ilara came across a path less traveled, an overgrown trail that seemed to beckon her with a whisper of adventure. She paused for a moment, feeling the weight of the journey ahead, but also the thrill of discovering the truth behind the legends. Taking another deep breath, she stepped onto the path, ready to uncover the secrets of the Witch of the Black Forest. The Black Forest was a realm unlike any other, with trees so tall they seemed to touch the sky. Each trunk was thick with age, their bark rough and covered in a vibrant tapestry of mosses and lichens. The canopy above was a woven blanket of leaves, allowing only slivers of moonlight to pierce through and illuminate the forest floor in a celestial glow. Ilara could hear the gentle hum of the night, a symphony of crickets, owls, and distant whispers carried by the wind. The air was rich with the scent of pine and damp earth, a blend that filled her senses with a profound feeling of being alive. As she walked, Ilara's eyes caught sight of delicate mushrooms clustered at the base of the trees, their caps glistening with dew, and the occasional glimmer of fireflies, their tiny lights twinkling like stars come down to rest among the underbrush. The deeper she ventured, the more the forest seemed to reveal its wonders. She saw old stone arches entwined with ivy, remnants of structures long forgotten, now claimed by nature's embrace. Soft rustles in the bushes hinted at the presence of curious woodland creatures, their eyes reflecting the lantern's glow as they watched her pass. The path beneath her feet was a soft carpet of fallen leaves and pine needles, cushioning her steps and adding to the serene silence. Ilara felt as though she was walking through a living tapestry, each element of the forest playing its part in a grand, unspoken story. The trees whispered ancient secrets as the wind danced through their branches, and the shadows seemed to move with a purpose, guiding her deeper into the heart of this magical place. Every step Ilara took felt like an invitation to discover more, to uncover the hidden gems of this enchanted forest. She marveled at the twisted roots that formed natural arches and the clear streams that wound their way through the woodland, reflecting the moonlight like liquid silver. The Black Forest was alive with mystery and wonder, a place where the boundaries between the known and the unknown blurred, inviting her to explore its deepest secrets. The deeper Ilara ventured into the forest, the more the path seemed to narrow, as though it were guiding her towards something significant. The air grew thicker with magic, and the leaves whispered tales of old. As the first light of dawn began to touch the horizon, she noticed a faint glow through the dense foliage. Her heart raced with anticipation as she followed the light, pushing aside the last of the branches to reveal a sight that took her breath away. There, nestled in a small clearing, stood an ancient, ivy-covered cottage. It looked as though it had grown from the very earth itself, with thick roots curling around its stone foundation and ivy cascading down its walls. The roof was a patchwork of moss and leaves, blending seamlessly with the surrounding trees. The windows, though old and weathered, had a warm, inviting glow that seemed to beckon her closer. The sight was both eerie and enchanting, a perfect reflection of the forest's mysterious nature. Ilara stood at the edge of the clearing, taking in the details of the cottage. She noticed the small, whimsical garden at its front, filled with an assortment of herbs and flowers that she had never seen before. The air around the cottage was filled with a subtle, sweet fragrance, a blend of blooming flowers and fresh earth. It was a haven of tranquility amidst the wild, untamed forest. With a mixture of excitement and caution, Ilara stepped into the clearing. Her footsteps barely made a sound on the soft carpet of moss that covered the ground. As she approached the cottage, she felt a gentle hum of energy, as if the very walls were alive with magic. She reached out, her fingers brushing against the rough stone and the cool, trailing ivy. The touch sent a tingling sensation up her arm, filling her with a sense of connection to the ancient power that resided within. She walked around the cottage, marveling at the intricate carvings on the wooden door and the delicate wind chimes that tinkled softly in the breeze. Every detail seemed to tell a story, a piece of the witch's life woven into the fabric of the house. Ilara paused for a moment, her hand resting on the door's ornate handle. Taking a deep breath, she gathered her courage and gently pushed the door open. The hinges creaked softly, revealing the warm, inviting interior of the witch's home. The first thing Ilara noticed as she stepped inside was the gentle warmth that enveloped her, a stark contrast to the cool forest outside. The interior of the cottage was illuminated by the soft glow of lanterns and the flicker of a cozy hearth, casting dancing shadows across the room. The air was filled with the comforting scent of herbs and freshly baked bread, and there, in the center of it all, stood the witch. She was nothing like the fearsome figure Elara had imagined from the village tales. Instead, she appeared kind and gentle, her aura serene and inviting. The witch's hair was a cascade of silver shimmering like moonlight, and her eyes sparkled with a wisdom that seemed to span centuries. She wore a flowing gown of deep green, adorned with intricate patterns that echoed the forest outside. Every movement she made was graceful, as if she were in perfect harmony with the world around her. The witch smiled warmly at Elara, her eyes crinkling at the corners with a genuine kindness that put the young girl at ease. "Welcome, Elara," she said in a voice that was both soothing and melodic, like a lullaby carried on a gentle breeze. "I've been expecting you." Elara's eyes widened in surprise, but she felt no fear, only a growing curiosity and a sense of wonder. The witch gestured for Elara to sit by the hearth, where a comfortable chair awaited. As Elara settled into the chair, she couldn't help but notice the numerous shelves filled with books, jars of herbs, and curious trinkets. The space was filled with an enchanting blend of the old and the magical, each item telling a story of its own. The witch moved with a fluid grace, pouring a cup of tea from a teapot adorned with delicate floral designs. She handed the cup to Elara, who took it with gratitude, feeling the warmth seep into her fingers. "You must have many questions," the witch said, her eyes twinkling with a knowing look. "Feel free to ask, and I will share what I can." Elara took a sip of the tea, savoring its sweet, calming flavor. She felt a comforting sense of connection with the witch, as if they were old friends reunited after a long time apart. The witch's presence was both calming and invigorating, a perfect blend of mystery and familiarity. Elara felt a surge of courage and asked, "Are you truly the witch of the Black Forest?" The witch chuckled softly, a sound like the tinkling of chimes. "I am, though perhaps not in the way the stories have led you to believe. I am a guardian of the forest, a keeper of its secrets and wisdom. My magic is not one of fear, but of harmony and understanding with the natural world." As the witch spoke, Elara felt a profound sense of respect and admiration. She realized that the witch's true power lay not in fearsome spells, but in her deep connection to the forest and the ancient knowledge she carried. The witch continued to share stories of the forest's history, its inhabitants, and the magic that flowed through every tree, rock, and stream. Elara listened with rapt attention, feeling as though she were being let in on the most wonderful secrets of the world. The witch's voice was like a soothing balm, weaving a tapestry of tales that filled Elara's heart with a sense of belonging and purpose. The fear and uncertainty that had accompanied her journey melted away, replaced by a warm, glowing appreciation for the enchantment that surrounded her. In the presence of the witch, Elara felt a deeper connection to the world around her, a connection that would stay with her long after she left the Black Forest. The witch's story begins in a time long before Elara's village existed, when the forest was even wilder and more untamed. Her name was Amara, and she was not born a witch, but rather became one through her deep love and understanding of nature. As a young girl, Amara had always felt a special connection to the forest. She could hear the whispers of the trees and understand the songs of the birds. Her heart ached when she saw any harm come to the natural world, and she vowed to protect it with all her being. The villagers often came to her for help, knowing that she had a gift for healing. Emera used her knowledge of herbs and natural remedies to cure illnesses and mend wounds. Her touch was gentle and her healing skills were unparalleled. People began to seek her out, not only for her medicine but for her wisdom and guidance. One fateful day, as she was collecting herbs by a crystal-clear stream, Emera encountered an ancient spirit of the forest. The spirit appeared as a shimmering figure made of light and shadow and spoke to her in a voice that echoed with the ages. "Emera," it said, "the forest has chosen you to be its guardian. Your love and dedication have not gone unnoticed. Accept this gift of ancient magic, and you will become a healer and protector unlike any the world has ever known." Emera felt a surge of energy as the spirit's words washed over her. She understood that this was her destiny, a path she was meant to follow. With a heart full of gratitude and resolve, she accepted the spirit's gift. From that moment on, Emera's connection to the forest deepened. She could communicate with the animals, summon the elements, and tap into the ancient wisdom of the earth. Her powers grew, but she used them with care, always mindful of the delicate balance of nature. Stories of Emera's extraordinary abilities spread far and wide. She became known as the Witch of the Black Forest, a guardian who protected the land and its creatures. But unlike the fearful tales that would later circulate, those who knew her understood that her magic was one of harmony and healing, not destruction. Emera dedicated her life to preserving the beauty and mystery of the forest. She tended to the plants, cared for the animals, and ensured that the natural world thrived. Her cottage became a sanctuary for those in need, a place where the sick could be healed and the lost could find their way. As the years passed, Emera's wisdom grew, and she became a living legend. The forest itself seemed to flourish under her care, its trees growing taller and its streams running clearer. The creatures of the forest revered her, and the villagers respected her as a wise and benevolent protector. Illyra listened to Emera's story with wide eyes, feeling a deep sense of awe and admiration. She realized that the witch's true magic lay not in her spells, but in her profound connection to the world around her. Emera's tale was a testament to the power of love, dedication, and harmony with nature. The witch's voice softened as she concluded her story. "Remember, Illyra, true power comes from understanding and protecting the world we live in. The magic of the forest is within all of us if we only take the time to listen and care for it." Illyra felt a warm glow in her heart, grateful for the wisdom Emera had shared. She knew that this journey into the Black Forest had given her more than just answers. It had opened her eyes to the profound beauty and magic that existed all around her. As Illyra prepared to leave the cottage, she felt a newfound sense of purpose. She promised herself that she would honor Emera's legacy by protecting the forest and sharing its wonders with others. The witch smiled, a look of pride and understanding in her eyes. "Go forth with an open heart, Illyra. The forest will always be with you." With those parting words, Illyra stepped back into the forest, feeling as if she were seeing it for the first time. Every leaf, every creature, every whisper of the wind felt alive with magic. The journey had changed her, and she knew that she would carry the lessons of the Witch of the Black Forest with her always. And so, as the sun began to rise, casting a golden light over the treetops, Illyra made her way home, her heart full of wonder and her mind alive with the possibilities of the world. The Black Forest, with its secrets and magic, had become a part of her, a guide on her journey through life. The second practice involves: imagine Amara as a young girl, eager and bright-eyed, living at the edge of the Black Forest. She was always drawn to the forest, feeling an unspoken bond with the trees, plants, and creatures that lived there. Amara's ancestors were known for their deep connection to the earth, and it was from them that she inherited her gift. Her grandmother, Elise, was the village healer and a wise woman with a heart full of knowledge about the magical arts. Elise had a calm and gentle presence, her eyes always twinkling with the secrets of the forest that she cherished. One crisp autumn morning, Elise called Amara to her side. "Today, my dear, you begin your journey into the magical arts of our ancestors," she said with a tender smile. Amara's heart swelled with excitement and a touch of nervousness. They walked together into the forest, the leaves crunching beneath their feet and the air carrying the scent of pine and earth. Elise guided Amara to a secluded glade where the sunlight filtered through the trees, casting a golden glow on a circle of ancient stones. "This place," Elise began, "is where our ancestors first learned to listen to the whispers of the earth." She knelt and beckoned Amara to join her. Magic is not about power for its own sake. It is about harmony, understanding, and respect for the forces around us. With patient hands, Elise showed Amara how to identify the plants and herbs that held healing properties. She taught her the sacred chants that could call upon the elements and the rituals to honor the spirits of the forest. Amara watched and listened, absorbing every word, every gesture. Elise's teachings were not just instructions but a way of life, a philosophy that bound their family to the natural world in a profound way. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Amara's skills grew under her grandmother's loving guidance. She learned to mix potions, to soothe the wounds of animals, and to read the signs of the weather. But more importantly, she learned to listen, to truly hear the voice of the forest and understand its needs. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, Elise shared a deeper truth with Amara. Our magic is ancient, passed down through generations. It is a gift but also a responsibility. The forest chose us because it knew we would care for it, protect it. Elise's eyes were filled with a deep, soulful wisdom as she continued, "You, Amara, are the latest in a long line of guardians. You have the heart and the spirit of our ancestors within you. Nurture this connection, and it will guide you in ways you cannot yet imagine." Amara felt the weight and the honor of her heritage. She promised herself and her grandmother that she would uphold the traditions and protect the magic of the forest. Every lesson, every story, every moment spent with Elise was a thread in the tapestry of Amara's destiny, weaving her path as the future witch of the Black Forest. With each passing day, her bond with the forest deepened, and she knew that her journey was only beginning. Little did she know that her newfound skills and understanding would soon be tested in ways she had not yet dreamed. The second practice involves an encounter with the townsfolk. As Amara's skills grew, so did her reputation. One day, a frantic villager named Marta came rushing into the forest, her face pale with worry. She had heard of Amara's healing abilities and came seeking her help. Marta's young son had fallen gravely ill, and none of the remedies in the village had worked. So without hesitation, Amara followed Marta back to her home. The boy lay in bed, feverish and weak, his breaths shallow, Amara gently touched his forehead, feeling the heat of the fever. She closed her eyes, using her senses to understand the illness. After a moment, she nodded and set to work. Amara reached into her satchel, pulling out a small bundle of dried herbs and a vial of a shimmering potion she had prepared. She mixed a few drops of the potion with crushed herbs, creating a paste, and applied it to the boy's chest. She then chanted a soft, melodic incantation, asking the spirits of the forest to lend their healing power. Gradually, the boy's breathing steadied and the fever began to subside. Marta watched in awe and gratitude as her son's condition improved before her eyes. By morning, the boy was sitting up, his strength returning. Word of Amara's healing spread quickly, and soon more townsfolk sought her assistance. Each time, Amara approached their ailments with the same care and respect, using her knowledge of herbs and spells to bring relief. She treated burns with a soothing salve made from aloe and lavender, healed wounds with a tincture of comfrey and honey, and eased the pain of childbirth with a tea brewed from raspberry leaves and chamomile. One particularly memorable encounter was with an elderly woman named Greta, who suffered from severe arthritis. Greta had endured years of pain that left her hands gnarled and nearly useless. Amara visited her home, bringing with her a special blend of willow bark and turmeric, known for their anti-inflammatory properties. She prepared a poultice and wrapped it around Greta's aching joints, chanting gently as she worked. Over the following weeks, Greta's pain diminished and she regained much of the use of her hands. The townsfolk were not only healed by Amara's potions and spells, but also by her kindness and understanding. She listened to their stories, offered comfort, and provided hope. She never accepted payment for her services, believing that her gift was meant to be shared freely. The villagers, in turn, brought her gifts of food, flowers, and handmade trinkets as tokens of their gratitude. Amara's connection to the forest and her dedication to helping others forged a deep bond between her and the townsfolk. They came to see her not as a fearsome witch, but as a beloved healer and protector. Through these encounters, Amara's heart was filled with a profound sense of purpose and fulfillment. Her potions and spells were not just acts of magic, but acts of love and compassion, a tangible expression of her commitment to the well-being of those around her. The Black Forest remained her sanctuary, but it was the people she helped who brought her the greatest joy. Each successful healing was a testament to the power of ancient knowledge and the enduring bond between humans and nature. As Amara continued her journey, she knew that her role as the Witch of the Black Forest was not just a title but a calling, one that she embraced with all her heart. The third practice involves a test of trust and loyalty. As Amara's reputation grew, she formed close bonds with many in the village, including a young woman named Lilith. They had been childhood friends, their bond forged in the shared wonder of the forest and the magic they both cherished. Lilith often visited Amara, learning about herbs and spells, sharing laughter and stories under the canopy of trees. However, as time passed, envy began to creep into Lilith's heart. She saw the admiration the villagers held for Amara and wished for the same respect and acknowledgement. Her envy turned to bitterness, and she began to see Amara not as a friend, but as a rival. One day, Lilith approached Amara with a request. She spoke of a powerful spell she had read about, one that could enhance her own magical abilities. Amara, sensing danger in the spell's nature, gently refused, cautioning Lilith against seeking power for the wrong reasons. Offended and frustrated, Lilith's jealousy reached a peak. She devised a plan to ruin Amara's standing in the village. Gathering the villagers one evening, Lilith spun a tale of deceit. She claimed that Amara's magic was dark and malevolent, that she had seen her practicing dangerous rituals and consorting with evil spirits. The seeds of doubt planted by Lilith's lies took root in the villagers' minds, their fear fueled by superstition and ignorance. They turned against Amara, forgetting all the good she had done. Amara was heartbroken by Lilith's betrayal. The people she had healed, the friends she had made, all now looked upon her with suspicion and fear. They came to her cottage, demanding she leave the village, accusing her of bringing misfortune upon them. Amara, with tears in her eyes, tried to explain, but their fear was too great. They burned her herbs, destroyed her potions, and cast her out into the wilds of the Black Forest. With a heavy heart, Amara retreated deep into the forest, seeking solace among the trees that had always been her sanctuary. She felt the forest's embrace, its ancient magic wrapping around her like a comforting cloak. The betrayal stung deeply, but she knew she could not abandon the place she had vowed to protect. She vowed to continue her work from within the forest, to protect it and its creatures, even if she could no longer do so openly among the villagers. As time went on, tales of the Witch of the Black Forest grew more sinister. Lilith's lies had taken on a life of their own, painting Amara as a vengeful outcast. Yet those who ventured into the depths of the forest with pure intentions found her still willing to help, her heart as kind and her magic as powerful as ever. Amara's bond with the forest deepened, and though she was an outcast, she remained the guardian the forest had chosen. Her love for nature and her dedication to its protection never wavered. The forest, in turn, hid her from those who sought to do her harm, its magic shielding her from prying eyes. The betrayal by Lilith was a wound that never fully healed, but it also taught Amara a painful yet profound lesson about trust and the dangers of envy. She learned to be cautious, to guard her heart while still offering her help to those in need. The villagers' fear and Lilith's treachery could not break her spirit. Amara continued to be the Witch of the Black Forest, a silent guardian and healer, her magic intertwined with the ancient wisdom of the trees, the whispers of the wind, and the gentle glow of the moonlit forest. The witch's escape to the Black Forest involved a period of profound transformation for Amara. Finding herself exiled from the village, she embraced the solitude of the forest with a determination to continue her life's work in harmony with nature. She discovered a hidden glade deep within the heart of the Black Forest, a place untouched by human hands and brimming with the raw energy of the earth. Here, Amara began to build her new home, a sanctuary that would blend seamlessly with the natural world around her. She collected fallen branches and stones, using them to construct a dwelling that felt like an extension of the forest itself. Vines and moss grew over its walls, creating a living, breathing space where Amara could thrive. Her days were filled with the rhythm of the forest. She woke with the first light of dawn, greeting the day with gratitude and purpose. Amara tended to a garden of medicinal herbs and vibrant flowers, their colors a testament to the life and energy that surrounded her. She spoke to the trees and listened to the whispers of the wind, finding solace in the ancient language of nature. As the seasons changed, so did her connection to the forest. In the spring, she gathered wildflowers and fresh herbs, their scents filling her home with a sense of renewal. Summer brought an abundance of fruits and plants, which Amara harvested with care, storing them for the colder months. Autumn was a time of preparation, as she collected firewood and preserved herbs, ensuring she had all she needed to sustain herself through the winter. During the long, cold nights of winter, the forest seemed to hold its breath, a stillness settling over the land. Amara would sit by her hearth, the warmth of the fire a comforting presence as she read from ancient texts and practiced her magic. The forest, though silent, was never truly lifeless. The animals and spirits of the woods became her companions, their presence a constant reminder of the interconnectedness of all life. Amara's solitude was not a burden but a gift. It allowed her to deepen her understanding of the natural world and the magic that flowed through it. She found joy in the simple beauty of a sunrise, the melody of birdsong, and the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze. Her heart was at peace, knowing she was where she was meant to be, living in harmony with the land she loved. As the years passed, Amara's reputation as the Witch of the Black Forest grew not through fear, but through the quiet, enduring strength of her spirit. Those who ventured into the forest with pure hearts found her to be a wise and gentle guide, always ready to help those in need. She became a living legend, a symbol of the forest's enduring magic and the profound wisdom that could be found in solitude and harmony with nature. The Black Forest, with its endless mysteries and timeless beauty, became an integral part of Amara's identity. She was no longer just a healer or a guardian. She was the very essence of the forest itself, a being of magic and nature intertwined. Her life in the Black Forest was a testament to the power of living in balance with the natural world, a legacy that would endure long after her time had passed. The forest was not just a sanctuary for Amara. It was a living, breathing entity filled with magical creatures and mystical beings that existed in perfect harmony. One of the most enchanting aspects of the Black Forest was its fairies, tiny, delicate beings with wings that shimmered like spun silver. They flitted about the forest, leaving trails of twinkling light in their wake. These fairies, known as the Luminara, were the guardians of the forest's natural beauty. They tended to the flowers, ensuring they bloomed brightly, and whispered to the trees, encouraging them to grow strong and tall. Whenever Amara sought their counsel, she would simply sit by a moonlit stream, and the Luminara would gather around her, their soft voices like the rustling of leaves in the wind. The Luminara were not just caretakers but friends and confidants, their playful energy bringing joy and laughter to Amara's days. Another magical presence in the forest was the talking animals, each with its own unique wisdom and personality. Amara had a special bond with a wise old owl named Orin, whose golden eyes seemed to hold the secrets of the ages. Orin would perch on a low branch near her cottage, sharing stories of the forest's past and offering guidance whenever Amara faced a difficult decision. His voice was deep and melodic, a soothing sound that brought comfort and clarity. There was also a mischievous fox named Fen, whose clever tricks and quick wit kept Amara on her toes. Fen had a knack for finding hidden treasures and uncovering the forest's most elusive secrets. He often accompanied Amara on her walks, darting in and out of the underbrush, his bright eyes twinkling with mischief. Despite his playful nature, Fen was fiercely loyal, always ready to protect Amara and the forest they both loved. The Black Forest was home to many other mystical beings, each contributing to the enchantment of the land. There were the gentle dryads, tree spirits who could meld with their trunks and branches, their presence a calming influence on the restless energy of the woods. They would emerge during quiet moments, their ethereal forms blending seamlessly with the foliage as they shared their ancient wisdom with Amara. Among the streams and rivers lived the naiads, water nymphs with flowing hair that sparkled like liquid diamonds. They guided the water's flow, ensuring it remained pure and life-giving. Amara often sought their help in crafting potions and remedies, their knowledge of the healing properties of water unparalleled. The naiad's laughter was like the sound of a babbling brook, bringing a sense of peace and renewal to all who heard it. In the deepest parts of the forest, where the sunlight barely reached, dwelled the enigmatic shadowlings. These shadowy beings were the protectors of the forest's darkest secrets. Though they were rarely seen, Amara knew that they were always watching, their presence a silent assurance that the forest's mysteries were safe. They communicated through dreams and visions, guiding Amara when she needed to uncover hidden truths or navigate the more treacherous aspects of her magic. The Black Forest was a vibrant tapestry of life, each thread woven with the magic of its inhabitants. Amara's bond with these creatures was a testament to her deep connection to the natural world and her role as its guardian. Together, they created a sanctuary where magic and nature thrived, a haven of wonder and harmony. As the seasons changed and the forest evolved, Amara's friendships with these mystical beings only deepened. They celebrated the cycles of the moon, honored the turning of the seasons, and supported each other in times of joy and sorrow. The magical creatures of the Black Forest were not just allies but family, their lives intertwined in a dance of magic and nature that would endure through the ages. A day in the life of the Witch of the Black Forest begins with the first light of dawn. Amara wakes to the gentle glow of morning sunlight filtering through the canopy of leaves above her. She feels the warmth on her face and breathes in the fresh, crisp forest air, filled with the scent of pine and earth. Her eyes flutter open, greeted by the symphony of birdsong that heralds the new day. She stretches and rises, feeling refreshed and ready to embrace the day ahead. The first thing Amara does each morning is step outside her ivy-covered cottage to greet the forest. She feels the cool dew on the grass beneath her feet and walks to a nearby stream where she splashes her face with the clear, cold water. This simple ritual connects her to the life-giving energy of the forest and sets a peaceful tone for the day. After her morning refreshment, Amara returns to her cottage and begins her day's work. In one corner of her cozy home, she has a small kitchen where she brews a fragrant tea from freshly picked herbs. The steam rising from the cup fills the room with soothing aromas of chamomile and lavender, bringing a sense of calm and focus. She sips her tea, her mind clearing as she plans her tasks for the day. Amara's mornings are often spent tending to her garden. She steps outside to her enchanting garden, where a myriad of herbs and flowers bloom in vibrant colors. She carefully tends to each plant, whispering words of encouragement and gratitude as she waters them and checks for any signs of distress. Her touch is gentle, and the plants seem to respond to her care, thriving under her watchful eye. Once the garden is tended, Amara often takes a walk through the forest, accompanied by Fen, the mischievous fox. With a basket in hand, she gathers wild herbs, flowers, and other plants that she uses in her healing potions and remedies. The forest is alive with activity, and Amara greets each creature she encounters with warmth and kindness. She listens to their stories and offers her help where needed, whether it's mending a bird's broken wing or helping a deer find its way back to its herd. By midday, Amara returns to her cottage with her basket filled with nature's bounty. She spends the afternoon in her apothecary, a room filled with shelves of jars and vials containing dried herbs, potions, and magical ingredients. The room is bathed in the soft glow of lanterns, and the air is rich with the scent of sage, rosemary, and other potent herbs. Amara carefully prepares her remedies, mixing ingredients with practiced precision and murmuring incantations that infuse her creations with healing magic. Each potion, salve, and tincture is crafted with love and intention, a testament to her deep connection to the natural world. In the late afternoon, Amara often takes time to meditate and connect with the spirits of the forest. She finds a quiet spot beneath an ancient oak tree, its branches reaching high into the sky. She sits cross-legged on the forest floor, closing her eyes and letting the sounds of the forest wash over her. The rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, and the gentle babble of a nearby stream all blend into a harmonious melody that soothes her soul. This meditation helps her center herself and tap into the ancient wisdom of the forest, a wellspring of knowledge and power that guides her in her work. As evening approaches, Amara lights candles and lanterns around her cottage, creating a warm, inviting glow. She prepares a simple meal from the fruits and vegetables she has gathered, savoring the flavors of the forest. Dinner is a time for reflection, and she often finds herself thinking about the people and creatures she has helped, the lessons she has learned, and the magic that weaves through every aspect of her life. As night falls, the forest takes on a different kind of magic. The air cools, and the sounds of nocturnal creatures fill the silence. Amara steps outside to gaze at the star-filled sky, feeling a sense of wonder and gratitude for the beauty of the natural world. She often spends her evenings by the hearth, reading from ancient texts or writing in her journal, documenting her experiences and the knowledge she has gained. Before bed, Amara performs a final ritual of gratitude. She thanks the forest for its gifts and protection, and she asks for guidance and strength for the days to come. This ritual is a simple but powerful way to end the day, grounding her in her purpose and renewing her commitment to her role as the guardian of the Black Forest. As Amara drifts off to sleep, she feels a deep sense of peace and fulfillment, knowing she is exactly where she is meant to be, living in harmony with the magic of the forest and the ancient wisdom that flows through its roots. The Witch of the Black Forest, a guardian of nature's secrets, finds joy and purpose in every moment, her routines a testament to the profound connection between humanity and the natural world. The witch's secret garden was a realm unto itself, hidden away from prying eyes and brimming with life. Nestled in a secluded glade, it was a sanctuary where rare herbs and plants thrived under Amara's careful guardianship. This garden was not like any ordinary garden. It was a place where magic and nature intertwined in perfect harmony. The moment you stepped through the archway of intertwined branches, you were greeted by a dazzling array of colors and scents. Flowers of every hue blossomed, their petals glistening with dew that sparkled like tiny jewels in the sunlight. The air was filled with the sweet fragrance of lavender, rosemary, and chamomile, mingling with the earthy aroma of freshly turned soil. Each plant in the garden had a purpose carefully chosen for its unique properties and the magic it held. At the center of the garden stood a majestic oak tree, its ancient branches providing a protective canopy for the delicate plants below. This tree was the heart of the garden, its roots extending deep into the earth and channeling the forest's ancient magic. Around its base grew a variety of herbs known for their healing properties, including sage, thyme, and echinacea. Their vibrant green leaves and tiny blossoms whispered stories of their potent power. One corner of the garden was dedicated to rare and exotic plants collected by Amara over the years. There were shimmering moonflowers that only bloomed under the light of the full moon, their petals glowing like ethereal lanterns. Nearby, the delicate fern-like leaves of the silverleaf plant caught the slightest breeze, creating a soothing rustle that calmed the mind. The golden petals of the sunburst flower, said to boost energy and vitality, stood tall and proud, reaching towards the sky. Amara's favorite section of the garden was the Enchanted Grove, where plants with magical properties grew. Here, the elusive nightshade with its deep purple berries flourished, alongside the radiant fire blossom, whose scarlet petals could be used to brew powerful protection potions. The iridescent leaves of the mystic fern shimmered with an otherworldly light, their essence said to enhance one's intuition and connection to the spirit world. Paths of smooth stones wound their way through the garden, leading to hidden nooks and peaceful alcoves where Amara could sit and meditate or simply enjoy the beauty around her. Small handcrafted birdhouses hung from tree branches, inviting feathered friends to join the serenity. Butterflies fluttered from flower to flower, their delicate wings adding to the garden's enchantment. Amara tended to her secret garden with a tender touch and a deep reverence for the life it sustained. She knew each plant intimately, understanding their needs and the magic they held. She would often spend hours here, gathering herbs for her potions, talking to the plants, and listening to the wisdom they imparted. This garden was her refuge, a place where she could reconnect with the essence of the forest and draw strength from its timeless energy. The secret garden was also a place of learning and discovery. Amara would sometimes invite those she trusted to share in its wonders, teaching them about the healing and magical properties of the plants. She believed that knowledge should be passed on, that the magic of the forest should be shared with those who would respect and nurture it. Each visit to the garden was a profound experience, an opportunity to witness the delicate balance of nature and magic in its purest form. As the sun set and the garden was bathed in the soft glow of twilight, Amara would often sit beneath the oak tree, reflecting on the day. The garden seemed to come alive in the fading light, the flowers closing their petals as the night-blooming plants began to awaken. The soft chirping of crickets and the gentle rustling of leaves sang a lullaby that echoed through the glade, filling Amara with a sense of peace. The witch's secret garden was more than just a collection of rare herbs and plants. It was a living testament to the magic of the Black Forest and the enduring connection between the natural world and those who cherished it. It was a place of beauty, healing, and wisdom, a sanctuary where the mysteries of nature were lovingly tended and preserved for generations to come. The witch's wisdom, sharing forgotten lore and ancient knowledge with the child, involves a beautifully woven tapestry of tales and teachings passed down through generations. Amara, with her serene aura and deep understanding, gently guided Alara through the rich history and magic of the Black Forest. they sat together in the cozy warmth of the witch's cottage, the flickering light of the hearth casting shadows that seemed to dance with the stories being told. Emara began with the lore of the forest itself, describing how it was an ancient and sacred place, protected by spirits and creatures who had lived there for millennia. She spoke of the great tree at the heart of the forest, whose roots spread far and wide, connecting every living thing in a vast, unseen network of life and magic. This tree, Emara explained, was the source of much of the forest's power, its presence a symbol of the enduring bond between nature and the mystical. Ilara listened with wide eyes, her imagination painting pictures of the ancient tree and the spirits that guarded it. Emara continued, her voice soft and melodic, recounting the legends of the forest's early guardians, wise beings who had dedicated their lives to protecting and nurturing the land. She spoke of the rituals they performed to honor the earth and the cycles of the moon, each ceremony a dance of gratitude and reverence. Emara shared that these guardians had passed down their knowledge through stories, songs, and sacred texts, preserving the wisdom of the ages. One of the most precious pieces of lore Emara shared was the story of the Luminara, the tiny fairies who were the keepers of light and joy in the forest. She described their delicate wings and how they glowed like fireflies, bringing light to even the darkest corners of the woods. These fairies, she explained, had the power to lift spirits and heal hearts with their laughter and light, a reminder of the simple yet profound magic found in nature's smallest creatures. Ilara was captivated, feeling a sense of wonder at the thought of such enchanting beings. Emara also taught Ilara about the language of the trees, a forgotten skill that allowed one to understand the whispers of the leaves and the creaking of the branches. She explained that each tree had its own voice and its own story, and by listening closely, one could learn the secrets of the forest. Together, they practiced this ancient art, sitting in silence and tuning their senses to the subtle sounds of the trees around them. It was a meditative practice that brought a deep sense of peace and connection. Another vital piece of wisdom Emara shared was the importance of harmony and balance. She spoke of how true magic was not about control or domination, but about living in harmony with the natural world. She illustrated this with stories of healers and witches who had lost their way by seeking power for its own sake, contrasting them with those who had found true strength in humility and respect for the earth. Emara's teachings were not just lessons but guiding principles for living a life in tune with the world around them. As the night wore on, Emara showed Ilara some of the ancient texts she had collected, filled with spells, chants, and rituals passed down through generations. Each page was a treasure trove of knowledge, written in flowing script and adorned with intricate illustrations. She taught Ilara a simple spell of protection, a chant that called upon the spirits of the forest to guard and guide her. Ilara practiced the chant, her voice quiet and reverent, feeling a sense of empowerment and connection to the magic that surrounded her. But perhaps the most profound lesson Emara shared was the magic of kindness and compassion. She spoke of how every act of kindness, no matter how small, created ripples of positive energy that spread far and wide. She encouraged Ilara to always act with a kind heart and a gentle spirit, reminding her that true magic came from within. Ilara felt a warmth in her chest, a glowing ember of understanding that would guide her long after she left the witch's cottage. Emara's wisdom was a gift, a precious inheritance of ancient knowledge and forgotten lore. As Elara absorbed this wisdom, she felt a profound sense of gratitude and awe. The stories and teachings were not just lessons, but keys to a deeper understanding of the world and her place within it. She knew that these teachings would stay with her, a guiding light on her journey through life. With a heart full of wonder and a mind alive with new knowledge, Elara thanked Amara for sharing the wisdom of the ages. The witch smiled, her eyes twinkling with a timeless understanding. The magic of the forest is now a part of you, Elara. Remember its lessons, honor its secrets, and you will always find your way. As Elara bid farewell to the witch and stepped back into the embrace of the Black Forest, she carried with her the ancient wisdom and forgotten lore that would forever shape her path. The witch's protective spells are an integral part of how she safeguards the forest from harm. Amara had long understood that the balance of the Black Forest needed to be maintained, and she used her magic to ensure that the delicate harmony of the environment was preserved. One of her most powerful spells was the Circle of Protection, a ritual she performed at the start of each new season. She would gather specific herbs, crystals, and items from the forest, each chosen for their unique properties and the energy they could contribute. Under the light of the full moon, she would spread these items in a circle around the great oak tree that stood at the heart of the forest. Standing within the circle, Amara would chant ancient words of power, her voice steady and filled with intention. The air around her would shimmer with energy as the spell activated, creating an invisible barrier that extended through the forest, protecting it from any malevolent forces that might seek to cause harm. This barrier was not just a shield but a living entity, responding to the needs of the forest and adjusting its strength as necessary. Another crucial spell in her arsenal was the Whispering Wind. This spell allowed Amara to communicate with the spirits of the forest, enlisting their help to monitor and protect the land. By placing her hands on the trunk of a tree and speaking the incantation, she could send her message on the wind, carried to the farthest corners of the forest. The spirits would then alert her to any disturbances or threats, ensuring that she could act swiftly to address any issues. Amara also crafted protective charms and amulets, which she placed at key points throughout the forest. These charms were made from natural materials like wood, feathers, and stones, each imbued with specific spells for protection and healing. They acted as guardians, their magic woven into the very fabric of the forest. If a tree was threatened by disease or if a creature was in danger, the charms would activate, their magic working to protect and heal. One of the more subtle yet powerful spells Amara used was the Veil of Illusion. This spell created a mirage that hid the most sacred and vulnerable parts of the forest from those who would seek to harm them. It was a complex incantation that required Amara to draw intricate symbols in the air with her fingers, each movement precise and deliberate. Once cast, the spell would cloak areas like her secret garden and the homes of the forest spirits, making them invisible to intruders while remaining perfectly visible to those with pure intentions. For more immediate threats, Amara employed the Guardian's Flame, a spell that summoned protective fire to ward off attackers. Using a special mixture of herbs and a spark from her lantern, she could create a ring of flame that encircled any danger, keeping it at bay without causing harm to the forest itself. This spell was particularly effective against wild animals or bandits who might stray too close to the heart of the forest. Amara's protective spells were not just about defense, but also about maintaining the health and vitality of the forest. She would periodically cast the Renewal Blessing, a spell that rejuvenated the plants, animals, and even the soil. The spell required her to gather dew from the leaves at dawn and mix it with the essence of moonlight, which she stored in a crystal vial. Sprinkling this mixture over the forest floor, she would chant words of growth and renewal, watching as the forest seemed to come alive with a vibrant, renewed energy. The Black Forest was a sanctuary, a place of magic and wonder, and Amara's protective spells ensured that it remained untouched by the darker forces of the world. Her dedication to safeguarding the forest was unwavering, her magic a testament to the enduring bond between the forest and its guardian. Each spell she cast, each charm she placed, and each ritual she performed was an act of love and respect for the land that had given her so much. Through her protective spells, Amara ensured that the Black Forest would remain a place of magic and mystery, a haven for all who cherished its beauty and wisdom. The new threat to the forest came in the form of a developer planning to cut down the trees. This news spread through the village, carried on fearful whispers and concerned glances. A wealthy landowner, known for his lack of regard for nature, had set his sights on the Black Forest. He envisioned turning its ancient woods into a sprawling resort, complete with luxurious lodges and manicured paths, a stark contrast to the natural beauty and wild magic that had defined the forest for centuries. The villagers were torn. The promise of jobs and wealth tempted many, but the thought of losing the beloved forest filled others with dread. When Alara heard the news, her heart sank. She knew she had to warn Amara. Without hesitation, she ran to the edge of the forest, her feet pounding against the earth in desperation. The trees seemed to lean in, sensing her urgency, guiding her along the familiar paths until she reached Amara's hidden glade. Amara was tending to her garden when Alara burst in, breathless and wide-eyed. "Amara," she gasped, "there's a developer who wants to cut down the forest. We have to stop him." Amara's eyes darkened with concern, but she remained calm, her presence a steadying force. She placed a comforting hand on Alara's shoulder. "Do not worry, child. We will find a way to protect the forest. It has faced many threats before, and it will endure this one too." With a determined resolve, Amara gathered her magical tools and called upon the spirits of the forest. She knew that this threat required more than just protective spells. It needed the collective power of the forest's ancient magic and the unity of its inhabitants. Together, they devised a plan to confront the developer and show the villagers the true value of their enchanted forest. As the sun began to set, casting a golden light through the trees, Amara led Alara to the edge of the forest where the developer's encampment had been set up. The air was thick with the scent of oil and the sound of machinery, an unsettling contrast to the natural symphony of the forest. Determined to make their presence known, Amara raised her hands and began to chant softly. The wind picked up, carrying her words through the trees, summoning the spirits and creatures of the Black Forest. Suddenly, the forest came alive with movement. The Luminara fairies appeared first, their wings shimmering as they flitted around the machines, causing them to malfunction. The talking animals emerged from the shadows, led by Orin the wise owl and Fen the mischievous fox, their eyes gleaming with determination. Even the trees seemed to shift and sway with purpose, their branches reaching out as if to protect their home. The developer and his workers froze, their eyes wide with astonishment as the magical beings surrounded them. Emara stepped forward, her presence commanding and serene. "Leave this place," she declared, her voice echoing with the authority of ancient magic. "The Black Forest is not yours to take. It is a sanctuary, a place of beauty and life, protected by forces you cannot understand." The developer, initially dismissive, found himself unable to look away from Amara's piercing gaze. The villagers, drawn by the commotion, began to gather at the edge of the clearing. They watched in awe as the forest revealed its true magic, their fears and doubts melting away. Amara's voice softened as she addressed them. "This forest is a part of us all. It provides us with more than just resources. It gives us life, wisdom, and beauty. We must protect it not for ourselves but for future generations." The villagers nodded in agreement, their hearts moved by the sight of the forest's magic and Amara's heartfelt words. Emboldened by their support, Amara turned back to the developer. "You have a choice. You can leave this place in peace, or you can face the consequences of your actions. The forest will not surrender easily." The developer, shaken by the display of unity and magic, realized he was outmatched. With a reluctant nod, he ordered his men to pack up their equipment. As they retreated, the forest seemed to sigh with relief, its protective magic once again at ease. The villagers cheered, their voices ringing through the trees in celebration. Illyra hugged Amara tightly, her eyes shining with gratitude and admiration. The Black Forest, with its secrets and magic, remained untouched, a testament to the power of unity and the enduring strength of nature. As the moon rose high above, casting a silver glow over the forest, Amara and Illyra stood side by side, their hearts filled with hope. The Black Forest had faced another threat and emerged victorious, its magic and beauty preserved for generations to come. The witch and the child teaming up to save the Black Forest involves a blend of ancient magic and youthful ingenuity. As the villagers retreated back towards their homes, grateful for the preserved sanctuary, Amara and Illyra knew the threat to the forest was not entirely vanquished. Amara looked down at Illyra, who was steadfast and determined. "We must ensure the forest remains protected," she said. "Our next steps are crucial." Illyra nodded, feeling a surge of confidence and responsibility. Amara and Illyra first decided to create a series of enchanted barriers that would alert them if any intruders entered the forest with ill intentions. They began with the circle of protection, gathering herbs, crystals, and special items from the garden. Under the soft glow of the moon, Amara instructed Illyra on the precise placement of each item around the great oak tree. "Every detail matters," Amara explained. "The energy we create here will resonate throughout the forest." Together, they chanted ancient words of power in unison. The air around them shimmered with magic, forming an invisible barrier that extended to the farthest corners of the forest. Next, Amara demonstrated the Whispering Wind spell. Placing her hands on the trunk of a tree, she spoke the incantation, sending a message to the spirits. Illyra mimicked her movements, her voice carrying the same intent. "Spirits of the forest," she whispered, "alert us to any danger." The wind picked up, carrying their message through the branches and leaves, signaling the spirits to stay vigilant. To outwit potential intruders, they crafted clever illusions. Amara taught Illyra the veil of illusion, showing her how to draw intricate symbols in the air with her fingers. "These symbols create a mirage," Amara said. "They will hide our most sacred places." Elara practiced the spell until she could move her fingers with precision. Together, they cast the veil around key areas, making them invisible to anyone entering the forest with harmful intentions. Their final task was to prepare for an emergency. Using a combination of herbs and their own energy, they brewed potions of invisibility and swiftness. "These will help us move unseen and quickly if we need to act," Amara said. Elara watched closely, her hands steady as she mixed the ingredients. The potions glowed faintly, a sign of their powerful magic. Days turned into weeks, and the forest remained tranquil. But one fateful morning, the spirits warned Amara and Elara of a new threat. The developer had returned, this time with a group of determined men ready to cut down the trees. Their hearts pounding, Amara and Elara sprang into action. They drank the potions, feeling a surge of energy as they became invisible and fleet-footed. Moving silently through the forest, they reached the intruders quickly. The men were startled to find the machinery malfunctioning again, thanks to the Luminara fairies. Suddenly, they found themselves surrounded by illusions of the forest closing in on them. The veil of illusion made the trees appear to move, their branches reaching out like arms. Amara and Elara whispered chants from the shadows, enhancing the fearsome mirage. Caught off guard, the men panicked. Amara then stepped forward, allowing herself to become visible. "This forest is protected by forces beyond your comprehension," she declared, her voice echoing with authority. Elara remained hidden, watching from behind a tree, her heart racing. The men, overwhelmed by the mystical barrier and illusions, dropped their tools and fled, driven by a combination of fear and awe. As the sun set and the forest returned to its peaceful state, Amara and Elara deactivated the illusions and barriers. They stood together, triumphant yet cautious. "We did it," Elara said, her eyes shining with pride. Amara smiled, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Yes, but we must remain vigilant. The forest's magic and our bond with it are what will keep it safe." In the days that followed, Amara taught Elara more about the ancient magic of the Black Forest, ensuring she could carry on the legacy. Their partnership, a blend of wisdom and youthful spirit, became a legend in the village, a testament to the power of unity and determination. The Black Forest remained a sanctuary, protected by the witch and the child who had risen to its defense. Together, they ensured that the magic of the forest would endure, preserving its beauty and mystery for generations to come. The final confrontation involves a blend of suspense and magical resolution. As the developer's men fled the forest in fear, Amara and Elara knew it was time to confront the developer himself and ensure that the sanctity of the Black Forest would be respected forever. Under the cover of night, they devised a plan to bring an end to the threats once and for all. Their strategy involved not just magic, but also the wisdom of the forest's ancient spirits and the collective strength of its mystical inhabitants. At dawn, Amara and Elara approached the developer's camp. The air was thick with anticipation, and the forest seemed to hold its breath. Elara whispered, "Are you ready?" Amara nodded, her eyes filled with determination. They moved silently, their presence masked by a spell of invisibility, until they reached the heart of the encampment. There, the developer stood, surveying his plans with a smug sense of confidence. Amara raised her hands, chanting softly. The earth beneath them began to tremble, and the trees seemed to lean in, their branches rustling with a growing intensity. Suddenly, the ground erupted with vines, snaking their way around the machinery, rendering it useless. The developer's eyes widened in shock as he watched his plans unravel before him. The forest spirits, called by Amara's whispering wind spell, emerged from the shadows, their forms shimmering with ancient power. "Who goes there?" the developer shouted, his voice shaking. Amara stepped forward, her figure materializing from the mist. "I am Amara, the witch of the Black Forest," she declared. "You have trespassed on sacred ground, and now you must face the consequences of your actions." Ilara appeared beside her, her youthful resolve mirroring Amara's strength. The developer sneered, "You think your tricks can stop progress? This land will be mine." He reached for a radio, calling for backup, but before he could speak, the Luminara fairies swarmed around him, their lights dazzling and disorienting. Orin the wise owl swooped down, snatching the radio from the developer's grasp and dropping it into a nearby stream. Amara's voice filled the air, casting an ancient spell of binding. The developer found himself unable to move, his feet rooted to the ground by the forest's magic. "Your greed blinds you to the true value of this land," Amara said, her tone both stern and sorrowful. "The Black Forest is a living entity deserving of respect and care. You have been given many warnings, yet you persist in your destruction." Ilara stepped forward, holding a vial of the shimmering potion they had prepared. She poured it onto the ground, and a soft glow spread through the earth, illuminating the intricate network of roots and life beneath their feet. "This is the heartbeat of the forest," Ilara explained. "Its magic flows through every tree, every creature. Can you not see its worth?" For a moment, the developer's defiance wavered. The glow of the potion revealed the interconnectedness of the forest, showing him a glimpse of the world he sought to destroy. The spirits of the forest gathered, their collective presence a powerful reminder of the magic that had sustained the land for centuries. Amara took a deep breath, her voice softening. "You have a choice to make," she said. "Leave now and vow to protect the forest, or face the wrath of its guardians." The developer, seeing the unity and unwavering resolve of Amara, Ilara, and the forest's inhabitants, felt a sense of awe and fear. The weight of his greed became palpable, and he saw the futility of his plans. I will leave," he stammered, his voice barely a whisper. "I promise I will not return." The spell binding him released, and he staggered back, his eyes filled with a newfound respect and fear for the forest. The spirits began to retreat, their forms dissolving into the mist, but their presence a lasting reminder of the forest's power. Amara and Ilara watched as the developer and his men packed up and left, the threat to the Black Forest finally vanquished. The forest exhaled, its tension easing as the machinery was dismantled and the camp was cleared. Amara turned to Ilara with a smile, her eyes twinkling with pride. "We did it," she said. "The forest is safe." Ilara hugged Amara, her heart swelling with relief and joy. "Thank you for showing me the true magic of the forest," she said. "I will always protect it." Amara nodded, knowing that the future of the Black Forest was in good hands. Together, they returned to their hidden glade, ready to continue their guardianship and celebrate their victory. Under the light of the rising sun, the Black Forest stood as a testament to the power of unity, respect, and ancient magic. Amara and Ilara's bond, forged in the heart of the enchanted woods, would ensure that the forest remained a sanctuary of beauty and mystery for generations to come. As they walked through the forest, the whispers of the trees and the songs of the birds filled the air, a symphony of life and magic thriving in perfect harmony. The witch's parting gift was a testament to the deep bond that had formed between Amara and Alara, a symbol of the wisdom and magic that would stay with Alara for a lifetime. As they reached the clearing where they had first met, Amara turned to Alara with a warm, knowing smile. "Alara, you have shown incredible courage and wisdom," she said softly. "It's time for me to share one last gift with you." Reaching into the folds of her gown, Amara pulled out a small, intricately carved wooden box. Its surface was adorned with symbols of the forest, each one glowing faintly with a soft, magical light. She handed the box to Alara, who accepted it with reverence and curiosity. "Inside this box," Amara explained, "is a crystal imbued with the essence of the Black Forest. This crystal is not just a token, but a source of magic and wisdom. Whenever you need guidance or strength, hold it close, and you will feel the presence of the forest and its ancient spirits." Alara opened the box carefully, revealing a gleaming crystal nestled within. It shimmered with an inner light, reflecting the hues of the forest, the green of the leaves, the brown of the earth, and the blue of the streams. She felt a warm pulse of energy as she touched it, a connection to the forest's magic flowing through her fingertips. "There's more," Amara continued. "This crystal will also allow you to communicate with me, no matter where you are. Simply hold it and speak your heart, and I will hear you. It will guide you through any challenges you face and remind you of the bond we share." Tears welled up in Alara's eyes as she looked at Amara, overwhelmed by the gift's significance. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice filled with emotion. "I will cherish it always." Amara placed a gentle hand on Alara's shoulder. "Remember, Alara, the true magic lies within you. This crystal is a tool, but it is your heart and spirit that will guide you. Continue to honor the forest, share its wisdom, and protect its beauty. You are now its guardian, a beacon of its enduring magic." Alara nodded, feeling a profound sense of responsibility and pride. The crystal was more than a gift. It was a symbol of her purpose and the unbreakable bond she had with Amara and the Black Forest. As they said their final goodbyes, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden light over the trees. Alara hugged Amara tightly, feeling the warmth and strength of the witch's embrace. "I will make you proud," she vowed. "I know you will," Amara replied, her eyes sparkling with both sadness and joy. "Go forth with an open heart, Alara. The forest will always be with you." With a final, lingering look, Alara stepped back, the crystal clutched in her hand. She watched as Amara blended into the shadows of the forest, her presence becoming one with the ancient woods. The parting gift glowed softly in Alara's hand, a constant reminder of the magic and wisdom she now carried with her. As she walked back to her village, the whispers of the forest echoed in her mind, guiding her steps and filling her with a sense of peace and purpose. Alara knew that she was never truly alone. The Black Forest and the spirit of Amara were forever a part of her, guiding her through life's journey with their enduring magic. The journey back to her village under the canopy of the Black Forest felt like a dream to Alara. The forest, now so familiar and dear to her, seemed to come alive in a new way, each rustle and whisper a reminder of the magic she had discovered. The crystal, warm and vibrant in her hand, pulsed gently, a comforting presence that made her feel connected to Amara and the forest's ancient wisdom. As she crossed the threshold from the dense woods to the open fields surrounding her village, Elara felt a profound transformation within herself. She was no longer just a curious child, but a guardian of secrets, a bearer of ancient knowledge. The village, with its familiar sights and sounds, now felt like a canvas upon which Elara could share the wonders she had seen and the wisdom she had gained. Her steps felt lighter, her heart filled with a new sense of purpose. When she finally approached the door of her tiny cottage, her grandmother stood waiting, eyes filled with a knowing warmth. "Welcome home, Elara," her grandmother said, enveloping her in a gentle embrace. Elara felt tears prick her eyes, a mixture of relief, joy, and an overwhelming sense of belonging. She shared the tale of her adventure with her grandmother, recounting every detail of the forest's magic and her bond with Amara. Her grandmother listened with rapt attention, her eyes glistening with pride and wonder. "You have truly found your path, my dear," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. "The forest chose well." Elara spent the following days sharing her newfound knowledge with the villagers, teaching them about the importance of respecting and protecting the forest. She showed them the crystal and explained its significance, offering to help those in need with her healing skills and the wisdom she had learned. The villagers, once fearful and suspicious, now saw Elara as a beacon of hope and magic, their hearts opening to the enchantment of the Black Forest. The legend of the Witch of the Black Forest began to thrive anew, carried on the whispers of the wind and the stories told around the hearth. Elara became a respected figure in the village, a young guardian whose bond with the forest was a source of inspiration and reverence. She visited the forest often, her presence a reminder to the spirits and creatures that the legacy of protection and harmony continued. The bond between Elara and the Black Forest grew stronger with each passing day. She honored Amara's teachings, living with a heart full of gratitude and a spirit imbued with the forest's magic. The crystal, always close to her, served as a guiding light, a symbol of the profound journey she had undertaken and the everlasting connection she had forged. And so, the story of the Witch of the Black Forest continued to be woven into the fabric of the village's lore. The whispers of the wind carried tales of Elara's bravery and Amara's wisdom, a testament to the enduring power of unity, respect, and ancient magic. The Black Forest, with its secrets and wonders, remained a sanctuary of beauty and mystery, a living testament to the bond between humanity and nature. Elara, forever changed by her magical adventure, walked a path illuminated by the lessons of the forest, ensuring that its magic and wisdom would thrive for generations to come. As the sun set and the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, the world seemed to breathe with a quiet peace, a silent acknowledgement of the magic that flowed through the Black Forest and the hearts of those who cherished its splendor.